Ho ho ho! Welcome to Gourmet, the channel where I cook my way through all the cookbooks I own and have never used. We're on our last recipe for this little Christmas series where we'll be using Taste of Home Magazine to be making a red velvet cake roll. I'm excited to try this one. I love red velvet cake. I think like Swiss rolls are always interesting. I've never made one, so we'll see how well this goes. Um, but I'm excited to try this one. Let's get trying something new here today because we're working a lot on the mixer. Obviously, we're making a cake. So I thought this might be an interesting angle. I don't know. We'll see how this goes when we edit it. First, we need 4 eggs. So I'm just getting my eggs cracked and into the mixer. We have 3. And then let me get the 4th one. Now we have 4. Oh, I didn't do a good job cracking this one. Oh no. Hey, okay, we didn't do a good job cracking it, but we got no eggshell in the eggs. I'm gonna go ahead and get these started mixing. So I washed my hands. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. The recipe says to beat the eggs for 3 minutes. So, we'll beat for as long as 3 minutes is. So we've had our eggs going for just about 3 minutes. Now we need to add in a 1/3 cup or 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So I just have that pre-measured here. I still have it on a pretty high speed. It doesn't say to lower it. So we're going to add in our sugar. And it says we're looking for like a lemon curd texture and color. So we'll see. I think this is pretty standard, I think, for cake making. So I'm not that worried about it yet. I have made a couple cakes recently, just in my personal life, and I haven't done the greatest job, so I'm hoping this one comes out way better. But what are we supposed to do? So we're looking for like kind of a light color and a thicker texture. So I think our mixture is pretty much where we want it to be. So we're going to go ahead and add in our food coloring. We're just using a red Wilton food color. It's a gel color. It says we need 1 ounce. Now I don't know how much that is, but I'm just gonna squeeze. We obviously want it like red, red, red because we're making red velvet. So I'm gonna let that go. That's pretty red. I don't think it's gonna get much more red. I have no idea how much an ounce is at all. An ounce feels like a lot. But, red food coloring does have that weird taste to it. So we'll do that. I'm going to call it there. I feel like that extra little bit of red didn't do anything, so that's fine. So now we're going to go ahead, and this is where the, weird stuff comes in. Because we're going to add some different ingredients to, a normal box cake, I would say. We need 2 tablespoons of buttermilk. I just have this TG Lee buttermilk. And of course I think this is a half tablespoon still. So we're going to measure out our buttermilk. And we need 4 of these. And you know what sucks is I had to buy this whole big thing of buttermilk. And I don't really know what to do with it. I think I'm going to coat some chicken in buttermilk. But let's be honest, this is a lot of buttermilk. Now we need a tablespoon of canola oil. I'm just using this from Publix. So we're going to unscrew the top. And we'll add in 2 of these. Oh, we're going to make a mess while doing so. Okay. So that was maybe a little more or a little less. I'm not sure. I made a mess. I'm going to clean that up really quick. And now we need a teaspoon of cider vinegar. So the cider vinegar is what's supposed to counteract more so the red food coloring taste. That's all I know about this. Okay, I'm going to make a mess with this too. Okay. Oh, that was a tablespoon and not a teaspoon. Ooh, I might have really just messed this up. Uh-oh. If this tastes bad, you know why. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh no. Uh-oh. I'm not really sure how we fix that. Do I just start over? I might start over. We're back. We I went ahead and made a new one. Um, so we'll see. We're gonna add the right amount of apple cider vinegar this time. We need a teaspoon. There we go. I'm still making a mess with it, but you know what? I measured a teaspoon into the pan. So, okay. Thank God. Now everything's clean. We can go on to the next step. Oh boy, I can't believe I did that. Uh, and then we need a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm just gonna eyeball this. I know that's more. I don't care. Sue me. Okay, so there's all of our wet ingredients. Now we're gonna go in and get our dry ingredients in there. Um, the recipe says to fold the dry ingredients in, so I'm just gonna keep this on like a really low speed, and I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm not stopping the mixer. So maybe I'm wrong, but this is how I'm doing it. We need 3/4 of a cup of cake flour. So I didn't buy cake flour for this. Cake flour is easy to find, I think. I've seen it quite a few places. I don't think it's hard to find, but I am just using like an all-purpose flour. You know, it's all-purpose. I know the different kinds of flour do have different kinds of flour consistencies, but it's fine. And now we need a 1/4 cup of baking cocoa. So I just have this Hershey's like chocolate cocoa powder. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm probably doing this wrong, but I'm just measuring this in the cup with the flour. Perfect. Actually, I'm really proud of myself. If you see, we have 3/4 of a cup of flour and then a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. I need a teaspoon of baking powder. And this is just the baking powder I have. This Rumford. I don't know. It's what was there. Okay. So here's our teaspoon of baking powder. Whatever. I was going to add it into the measuring cup, but it's in there now. And then I need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm just using the regular salt that I use out of the little grinder. And so we're going to go ahead and add this in. This is probably going to be a fairly runny cake batter. So I'm interested to see that. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up a little bit. Now, of course, I'm trying to get all of the clumps of cocoa powder out. But it looks, I think we have the color right. So here is our plan. We need a 15 by 10 by 1 inch baking sheet for this. I don't know if this is the exact measurements, but it feels right, you know. So we have our batter to the side. I'm gonna bang off the attachment, and I'm gonna take this and just real quick, I'll show you guys. I'm just kind of gonna run this through and do this. I'm just trying to make sure everything is as incorporated as possible before we move on. So I've never made one of these, like I said, so I am a little worried, but you know, it is what it is, right? So here's our baking sheet. I went ahead and cut. I'm actually really nervous because I want this to work so badly, but I cut a piece of parchment paper to sort of ish fit. So our cake might not be exact, but that's okay. We need to spread this into the pan. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this in, shooting for the middle. Not doing a great job. We're gonna call it here. And this just feels so thin, you know? Like this is really, really thin. So I might have too big of a pan, but I'm gonna leave it here. Maybe try to get this a little more. That's gonna overbake, but that's fine. Okay. I just want it to work, and I'm not sure I'm doing it right. I also just I don't have another pan in between this size, but that's okay. It's just so there's so little batter. Anyways, okay, we're gonna put this in the oven. It says at 350, but I've lowered my oven to 340, and we're gonna bake this for 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm starting at 340 for 12 minutes, and we'll see where we go. But I'll see you guys when this is out of the oven. Okay, so here's our cake. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking this is definitely the wrong size pan. Um, but I went and measured another pan that I have that I would have used, and that's also the wrong size pan. This one's too big. The other one's too small. I probably should have used the other one because I just, look at the picture. Look at this. Can you even see the picture? Did you see it? Yeah, look at that. This does not look like the picture, but we're going to let this cool for 5 minutes. And then we're just going to roll it. We're just working with it. We're moving along, mostly because I don't have enough eggs to redo this. And I don't feel like going to the store to get more. So if we fail, this is on us. This is not on the recipe. But we'll let this cool for 5 minutes, and I'll see you for the next step. So here we are. We're going to get ready for our rolling of our Swiss red velvet cake roll. I'm calling it a Swiss roll. I don't know if that's the recipe just calls it a red velvet cake roll. I don't know what the difference is, but we need to coat our kitchen towel with powdered sugar, and this is going to help our cake not stick when we roll it. I've seen them do this on like Bake Off and stuff, so I'm I know this part's right. I just think I really messed up the actual making of the cake part. Here's our cake. And I've got to I picked this up a little wrong. I am just gonna this is gonna poof everywhere, but that's okay. That's okay. Poof. Okay. And we're gonna peel off our parchment paper slowly. The cake feels a little rubbery, to be honest. I think it's cooked. It smells good. I just don't know if I've done any of this right. But that's okay. So I'm just gonna take this. Do I need to powder this? I feel like I should powder this side too. If I powdered one side, I should powder both, right? I don't know. Does it matter? Okay, and then we've let it cool, and we're just rolling it, and we're trying not to break it so that it will cool in this shape. So here she is. So our cake is cooling to the side. We have it all wrapped up. We're gonna go ahead and make the frosting. We have a quarter cup of butter, or 4 tablespoons of butter in here. We need 8 ounces of cream cheese. I'm just using the regular like Philadelphia. Can you see that? Can you see it? I'm doing this at a weird angle. The Philadelphia cream cheese. Both of these have been out. They're supposed to have gotten soft. I'm not so sure the butter did. The cream cheese seems to have. Now I might add some extra cream cheese to this. I have half of a thing of cream cheese left over. And I might add more cream cheese just because I like things to be a little cream cheesier. Like sometimes cream cheese frosting to me is not cream cheesy enough, if that makes sense. But that's okay. We have these guys go. And we're gonna beat these together until smooth. Now we have these guys together. We need 3 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out 2 cups. Okay, so there's 2 cups. I'm gonna just start this slow. That looks pretty nice. So now I'm gonna add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which honestly, we know we're not measuring. There we go. And this is just once again that homemade vanilla that I have. I'm just going to give this a taste real quick. Okay. Yeah, I definitely want this to have a more cream cheese flavor, so I'm going to add in, and this might mess everything up, but I'm just going to add in this other piece of cream cheese, and I think that'll do us. It's not that it's bad, and you can tell it's definitely cream. You can tell it's supposed to be cream cheese, but I don't think it's like has that real cream cheese flavor. Okay, so here we have our Swiss roll. It looks like it didn't crack, so that's good. Go us. Um, there might be a little too much powder. Oh, it did crack a little bit. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just do this on here for now. I don't know. I'm for whatever reason, I'm very overwhelmed by this idea. I'm just gonna go ahead and plop on a bunch of our frosting. Okay, perfect. And I've got my little spatula, and I am just gonna take it and run with it. I'm so overwhelmed, and I want this to work so badly that the commentary is not even happening. Let's see, what does the book say? Unroll cake, spread filling over cake to within 1/2 inch of edges. Okay. So I know that they're definitely probably expecting you to lose some to the edge as you roll, but we have quite a bit of frosting left, so I'm going to put on another couple big dollops. And we'll spread this out too. I'm so excited to try this. I think now that it's cool, now that we have it out, now that I'm doing this part, I think that we cooked it a little better than I thought, but still not perfect. I think that can definitely be improved upon. Okay. Oy. So we've got our cream cheese frosting in here. Now we're gonna roll it back up without the towel. Oh, this whole side cracked. Oh no. Okay. Look, she might not be the prettiest girl at the park, but that's okay. It's not even a saying, but we're gonna take it. Now I have to pick it up. That's because we definitely lost the frosting. Okay. Whatever. So there's that. So the book says to place this seam side down, which we have. This is such a mess. But I've just got it on the cutting board, and we're going to let this sit in the fridge for an hour before we cut into it. So it's been just about an hour. We have our admittedly kind of flat cake roll here. I'm just going to go ahead and try to cut off the edge. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And this is mostly so that I can get like a nice corner shot, or not corner shot, but edge shot. Cool. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just slice another little slice here, lay it down. And look at that. Okay, look. It's our first time. I've never made one before. I'm honestly pretty happy with it. I know the cookbook says that you can like finish off with more powdered sugar on top, but I'm not going to do that. Honestly, I think what I would do if I was serving this to people is like get a little. Well, I would get a nicer tray than the cutting board, but I would get like a couple sprigs of mint and stick it on top because I think that would look nice. We do have 2 cracks in it. I don't know, what we did wrong there or anything like that, but I'm pretty proud of this. let's go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so here is, let's see, can we do it? This is our cake roll. Like I said before, we obviously have two cracks, but let's just try it. I'm really just here to try it. That's all I want to do. Well, that's pretty good. Um, I'm glad we added more cream cheese to the frosting. I think the cake could be a little spongier. It seemed like a pretty dense cake. Um, it definitely is like holding together, and I don't know. Like I said, this is the first uh like cake roll, Swiss roll that I've ever made. So I don't know if it's a recipe. I don't know if it's me, but I think it could be a little more cake texture, if that makes sense. But I like it. It's definitely something I'll make again. I think I'll play around with how I bake it. Um, Obviously, this was an emotional roller coaster. I really like. I texted multiple people being like, "I think I did this poorly," and then it came out like I did, and I think I did it okay. It wasn't hard to make. The ingredients were all super easy to find. I have to figure out what to do with buttermilk, and I think that's the one thing that in this recipe you're forced to buy that you're kind of like, what do I do with that? I liked how easy it was. It definitely comes down to a cooking thing, which is where this one gets tough. It's not a perfect 10 by any means, like I said, but I think, oh, maybe an 8. Like a solid 8, I think. Like I said, I really like it. It's good. I think this would be nice for a party. I just don't have the technique down, and I think that just practicing and practicing and practicing. But I would give this one a try if I were you. I think it's not as intimidating as a lot of people make them seem. Obviously, if you're going for something perfect, that's going to be hard. Um, but I'm proud of this first one that I have made. So yeah, I would recommend this one. I think an 8 just because you have to figure out what to do with buttermilk. And it's not the easiest thing in the world. It's really not. But I think the more you do it, the more you practice, it'll eventually come down. And there might be better recipes out there for cake rolls or Swiss rolls. So yeah, I like this one. I think it's the perfect end to a nice like little Christmas meal. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.